compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law, I wish to state that on December the 1st, 2017, the notice of this meeting of the Upper Township Committee was posted on the official Township Bulletin Board, mailed to the Cape May County Gazette, the Atlantic City Press, the Ocean City Sentinel Ledger, the Herald Times, and filed with the Township Clerk. Tonight's meeting is being video recorded up until the closed session portion of this meeting and will be available on UTTV Channel 97 on the Upper Township website. I hereby direct that this announcement made a part of the minutes of this meeting. I would ask all to rise for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Barbara, welcome back. Please call the roll.
Here. Here. Present. Here.
Here. All right, would someone like to approve the minutes from November 20th, both the regular and closed session A and B minutes?
Motion to approve. Second.
Is there any corrections, deletions, omissions that anyone's aware of? Hearing none. Would you call the roll, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Scott, do you have anything for us this evening?
Yes, good evening, Mayor. Just a few things. Just wanted to update committee on leaf collection by Public Works. They finished the first zone for loose leaf pickup of Church Road to Harbor Road, and they're going to be working this week on Zone 2, which is Church Road to Corson Road. And each time they've been advancing their signage. You may have seen that in the area, just to let the neighbors know and the residents in the next area that when the next loose leaves collection will take place. It had come to my attention through Chief Stevens from Seaville Fire Department, acting on behalf of the Chiefs Association. They're looking for some assistance from the township. It's in regard to a grant that they will be applying for through the Tele Association, and that is the Assistance to Firefighters grant. And they're asking normally with these FEMA-related grants, it's often advisable that the municipality or the county or state, they actually be the ones to apply for the grant, as opposed to an individual entity. And the reason behind that is because the likelihood of the individual entity getting it is much less than a municipality or county or state. And so there's going to be a meeting. They requested me to sit in on the meeting the 7th of December, this Thursday, just to discuss initially the application process. But I wanted to bring it to, before this meeting, I wanted to bring it to the committee's attention, and just to let you know that this application, and it's for self-contained breathing apparatus. That's what they're shooting for as far as the overall purpose of this particular grant. But I told Chief Stevens that I would bring it to the administration to the committee's attention.
Hey, Scott.
What are they looking to do? Are they looking for us to be the applier of the grant?
Correct, and I'll have more information, like I say, this Thursday through Jim Vitello. Jim would, his association would actually be the ones to write the grant, but we would be the actual grantees or sub-grantees.
What they're doing is the Scott Air Packs, I believe, only have a 15-year lifetime. I believe it might be 12 or somewhere like that. No, they're not. Scott's just one of the name brands. What they're trying to do is get everybody, all 4 fire companies in the township, on the same breathing apparatus system, so parts are interchangeable, air bottles fit, mask clip, and try to streamline the operation and make it more user-friendly and compatible with each other.
So it's not just for Seaville, it'd be for all fires?
It's the entire Chiefs
So
Association.
I think the grant application is for all 4 companies.
Correct, that's correct.
So it's not just Seville, it's all four companies. So it's a considerable amount of money. I forget what the number was. It was like $500,000, yeah. So,
Scott, do we have an estimate from Ratal Associations, or Ratal Associates as to what the grant application will cost the township?
And that's what we were going to be discussing this Thursday. Like I said, this was just preliminarily brought to my attention through Chief Stevens.
Okay.
And he asked if the township township committee would have an interest in taking part in this. And so I assured them that I would bring it to your attention. And obviously, the additional information will come this Thursday.
instead, if all four fire companies applied for the grant, they probably, even if they got a portion of it, we're probably better off if we can apply as the township as one big package.
I'm just looking at the fee for the grant application. That would be coming out of the fire company's budgets?
That's something we can negotiate. They could probably be more than willing to split the fee 4 ways.
Okay.
Next thing I have this evening, over the past 6 months, one of the employees, a temporary employee by the name of Jamie Highland, has been working with our Public Works Department. After soliciting information from several supervisors, and actually without soliciting that information, it came to my attention that Mr. Highland has done an excellent job working for many different supervisors, basically done what he's told, and really performed outstandingly. So that 6-month period is coming to an end at the end of this month, so I'd like to recommend to the committee that he be hired full-time.
Is that included in the budget that you're putting together already for personnel?
It will be,
Yes.
for the 2018 budget.
18 budget.
In 2018?
So
We were requesting it to be effective January 1st.
should we retire anybody this year?
I mean, it's going to be,
Not from Public Works.
so it's going to be a +1 in our overall head count.
Yeah, now, keep in mind that we had budgeted for 2 part-time employees, and we just hired one in 2017.
Right, but if, part-time employee, we're not looking
There are
at the,
additional costs associated with a full-time employee.
Yes.
And I can reinforce Scott's position. I work with Jamie, on many of the projects out there, and, we very rarely do we get part-timers that want to work the way this kid works, and it takes a lot of pride in his work. He's dedicated to it. And we do have a lot of people that's going to be getting ready to retire in the next couple of years, and it'd be nice not to lose somebody really good. And that's probably what will happen to us if we don't do something. I'm sure he'll wind up elsewhere. But we don't get that many that are willing just to go weed whack and cut grass and do whatever we ask him to do. The kid just does it and it's done.
Well, any employee should do what he's asked.
Well, they
to do.
should, but you still get exceptional employees.
But the question would be, budgetarily, are we anticipating on hiring somebody full-time and incurring the cost of the health benefits and everything else along with it? That's the thing.
yeah, I mean, what we're looking is a +1 in permanent head count, so we need to also, look at that. If we decide to go ahead with this, then we need to look at that. If there is a retirement comes up, then we don't backfill that position. Or we also look at this when we budget for the count of our temp employees for the following year. I mean, granted, there's going to be a little bit more because of the legacy costs, but, obviously we want to try to minimize the increases in overall salary.
Well, obviously, I think if we hire him, we're not going to hire any part-timers next year, that being said. I mean, I think
Is
he's...
that anticipated?
It's not. No.
What's our budget process? In January, February, we start putting the budget together, April, we introduce it.
Yeah, I mean, generally by the second meeting in January, we're having our first budget workshop, so.
I mean, is there any way we could push this off to after we get through the budget process?
Well,
I'd hate to hire the guy and then things slip him
he has.
2 months later.
If he's not hired full-time now, we would have to let him go. And maybe he would be available when we wanted to hire him full-time after the budget process, maybe not.
Since he's already working part-time, do we have to open the process up?
His 6 months window is coming up, so.
When's the end?
I'm sorry?
When's the end of the 6-month window?
It's this month, I don't know the exact date, but it is this month.
Is there any way we can extend the 6-month window, Dan, without, if he voluntarily waived?
No.
You can't.
Because then there's other things that kick in.
And he's worked for us before part-time, hasn't he?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's been pretty patient. And he keeps coming back and he keeps doing a better job. And again, I'm looking at, unfortunately, everybody doesn't work that way.
But the thing is that we're hiring a person full-time. I mean, it's not a part-timer, it's full-time,
Right.
it's health benefits, and it's something that should be anticipated in the budget. And we're not anticipating it in the budget right now. We want to make a decision tonight, and it's
When you,
I feel it's something we should probably put on the back burner right now until we can get more information for hiring.
one more question regarding part-time employees, and somebody brought up the fact that this Mr. Highland has worked for us in the past as a part-time employee. What is the required laydown period or cooling off period before you can bring back a temporary employee?
It's a judgment call. You can't do it with the intent to bring them back, because then they're not part-time. We went through this years ago with the EMS workers not being in civil service, and so they were part-time. And unfortunately, we had a solicitor who confirmed it with your auditor and said, I'm sorry, they're civil service, whether you call them part-time or not, the break of a month or whatever, or 2 or even 6 months is not part-time.
So,
Parts are part-time because it's seasonal, but this is not seasonal. All right. So there is no timeline, but it's intent.
okay.
See, it's a tough one, because I don't want to, we got a good kid and I don't want to lose him. But we got to work on some budget numbers and crunch some numbers, and I actually think if we could probably revisit this at our next meeting and have some time to digest it and think about it.
Because we'll have preliminary budget stuff in by then.
Even if we have just relative headcount numbers with full and part-time, year over year, we might be able to at least get hand grenade close to it.
So, I mean, I don't want to say no, but I'd like to, definitely, I think we should revisit this in 2 weeks.
No, I agree with you. I hate to lose a good employee if there's a potential out there, but, on the other
He has
hand,
2 weeks left in his employment as a part-time person?
I would have to look at it off the top of my
Well,
head.
we're talking about hiring him January 1 anyhow, so we might, so either way, he's going to wait till January 1.
Well, if we're not going to hire him permanently January 1, there is a date in December that he would need to be let go.
Yeah.
Right,
So
I think,
So we're going to table
Till
for
the
right now
next meeting.
until the next meeting, until we get more information.
so we'll put that on the agenda as unfinished business.
yes. I'm kind of believe if we got him on the agenda, he's not going to go job hunting for
Yes.
2 weeks if he gets laid off next week. If he did, he wasn't interested.
And the last thing I have for committee is our new phone system has been completely installed, went live on Friday. And also too, along with that, our new Comcast fiber for all of our buildings, that also went live at the same time. And I haven't heard anything negative so far, thank goodness.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Better than the last time we had it installed, that I recall.
They usually can get people over.
Well, you said to me. That's all I have.
Barbara, Daniel,
Nothing at this time, but we have a number of items in closed session, some potential litigation, contract negotiation, personnel.
Barbara,
Nothing this evening.
wow. Mr. Coggins,
nothing this evening.
Mr. Young,
Not too much to bring up tonight. We are working over at Caldwell Park, and we removed the sea level field. Backstops, dugouts, everything is gone. That will be seeded and become more of a practice area for football, and we're utilizing all the dirt on our other infields. Baseball has donated and volunteered time at Amanda's Field to put up block dugouts. They really didn't want the wire truthfully because of the parents, because the parents stand there and talk to the kids. So they offered to do it on their own, and they took it through Scott and myself and through Dory. So they're about halfway doing that. We did a final meeting on the Pumpkin Run and Fall Fest, and very minimal issues we have to address. One thing we do have to do for next year, and for any event, I think, is we need to look into a good portable PA system, even for out here. It's part of the problem is reaching the public if a kid gets lost, or being able to announce what time things are happening. So I think, if we're going to do these events, we need to look into a pretty substantial PA system to be able to utilize. Other than that, like I said, everything else was pretty minor issues. So that's all I got for it right now.
Mr. Barr.
That was quick.
Hey.
I'd just like to say, John, thank you for that idea about the signs, and a lot of positive feedback about the leaf pickup signs. I probably had like half a dozen people say now they know when their leaves are going to get picked up. So other than that, that's all I have.
Mr. Corson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, I have nothing.
And I have one thing. I received a letter from the County Department of Cape County Planning Department. And they are working, and they've retained the services of Mazer Consulting to develop a new countywide water quality management plan. They would like us to be a participant, as one of the municipalities. And what they're looking for is somebody that is an established staff or consultant, knowledgeable in the fields of planning, land use, and/or wastewater infrastructure, to be your municipal liaison. And quite frankly, I think probably the most qualified person to do that would be Paul, our engineer. And so I'd like to make a motion that we send Paul's name in to be our representative to the county.
Second.
Let's call the roll.
Yes.
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 It's nice to get in when you can't fight back.
You snooze, you lose. You're on vacation, you get volunteers. Let's come back, we'll see what else we can come
That's
up
not volunteer, he's assigned, he's a council employee. That's it. He's going to do it whether he wanted it or not.
with. Let's move on with the resolutions.
Item number 1, claiming offer as adverse childhood experiences awareness month in Cape County.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Barr,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Yes.
Carolina,
Yes.
2, authorizing an extension of the agreements with Ocean First Bank with regard to banking services.
Motion to authorize?
Second.
Just a question, so we're authorizing this now, but this will also be on the reorganization? Or
The
how does this work?
reorganization resolution will appoint a number of banks. This is actually our agreement with Ocean First for the following year. Just so you're aware, none of our services that we receive from Ocean First will change. We'll still to continue to receive all of the same services. Our interest rate has increased slightly, so that's good news.
The difference between the two resolutions, one appoints depositories that we can operate with. This is a contract with Ocean First where they guarantee us the rate and services.
Barr,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Carolina,
Yes.
Item number 3, accepting the 2018 solid waste collection rules and regulations, resident information packet, pursuant to chapter 24 of the revised general ordinances of Butler Township.
Anything to add on that?
The only change that we had made was in regard to residential brush collection schedule. That would be on April and October, and the leaf collection will still occur as it is normally done throughout the months of November, December. And then we're also going to, we attempted to get this put into play for, by the end of this year, but unfortunately, we weren't able to. But the beginning, first quarter of 2018, we're looking to do a compost container project. And that will somewhat supplement and hopefully increase in the amount of tonnage collected by, the grass clippings and leaves and very small brush that you can fit in these containers. Okay. So, and that would be the only change.
So you're talking about getting a different color container for brush and leaf?
Correct. It's a compost container, and it would be a different color.
Green or yellow or something.
Probably green,
Dead grass isn't green.
All right, and that's something we're going to discuss in January?
Yes. Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Laura?
Yes.
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
4, authorizing the mayor and county clerk to sign a contract with Washington Planning Agency for insurance and burglar consulting services.
Motion to authorize?
Second.
Laura?
Yes.
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Motion carried. 5, authorizing the host community benefit agreement between the township of Hubbard and county of Cape May and the Florida Utilities Authority.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Carried. Number 6, budget transfer resolution.
I will make a motion to approve.
Second?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Cobb?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes. Wow, very short agenda this evening. Would someone like to make a motion to pay the bills?
I hereby move that all claims submitted for payment at this meeting be approved and then incorporated into the full minutes of this meeting.
Second?
Would you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Cobb?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Motion carried.
There's only one report from the municipal departments, Department of Public Works. It'll be available upon request tomorrow at the clerk's office, but I'll make a motion to accept that report.
Second?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Cobb?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So at this time, we're going to open it up, if anyone from the public would like to address the Township Committee. Now's the time to do so. Please come up to the podium and state your name and your reason for addressing the Township Committee. This could set a record this evening for time. So it appears that there's no one that wants to comment in the public session. So we'll close that and we'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I hereby move that a resolution be incorporated into the minutes authorizing the Township Committee to enter into an executive session for the following matters pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. The matters are personnel, potential litigation for tax appeals, and 30 Rivendell Road, contract negotiation for annual appointments, and collective bargaining agreement. I also include in my motion that the estimated time and the circumstances under which the discussion in closed session can be disclosed to the public as follows. It is anticipated that the matters discussed in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Committee that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. With respect to employment and personnel matters, such discussions will be made public if and when formal action is taken or when the individuals involved consent that it can be made public. With respect to contract negotiations, such matters will be made public when negotiations have ceased and there is no longer a reason for confidentiality. With respect to litigation matters, such discussions will be made public when litigation is complete and the applicable appeal period has expired.
Second?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Cobb?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes. Thank you all for appearing this evening. Even though it's a brief meeting, it's important that people come and partake in the meeting.